Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The American rock singer Tom Petty passed away last night at the age of 66. He had suffered apparently a severe heart attack sometime Sunday evening. Out in Las Vegas, police are continuing to try to establish a motive behind a mass shooting which has left at least 59 people dead and another 527 injured. The 64-year-old gunman opened fire from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel toward an open-air music festival across the street Sunday night. Preposterously, police found 23 guns in his hotel room, all of which apparently had gone unnoticed by the cleaning staff as well as the check-in staff after he checked into the Mandalay Bay on Thursday. In his home in Mesquite, northeast of Las Vegas, police found an additional 19 firearms as well as several thousand rounds of ammunition. The Australian insurer QBE has issued its second profit warning in less than 4 months, saying that recent catastrophe events would shave $600 million off pre-tax earnings this year. QBE has faced a significant number of claims from Cyclone Debbie that struck Australia in March, as well as a one-off charge of about $150 million from the UK government's change to the Ogden discount rate. Of course, Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria and the Mexican earthquake last month have all contributed now to increased costs. U.S. primary insurer Farmers Insurance, a subsidiary of the Zurich Group, said that it expects to be able to claim back the total bill from Hurricane Irma claims from its reinsurance panel. So there is a reason why primary companies buy reinsurance. Farmers says it expects to get the $140 million back in claims from Irma. Add this to the $360 million that it expects to receive back from Hurricane Harvey claims, and the total amount that Farmers expects to see as a result of its reinsurance policy is $500 million. President Trump is going to Puerto Rico today. He's going to be on the ground for 5 hours. He's struggling to signal to Puerto Ricans that, in fact, his administration is strongly working to be able to overcome the difficulties that have been sustained after the island is trying to recover from Hurricane Maria. 2 weeks after the hurricane struck, 95% of electricity customers remain without power. Much of the countryside is struggling to access basic necessities, including food, water, and cash. Efforts in San Juan, where the main port is, have left the capital of Puerto Rico relatively okay. About 60% of retail gas stations have reopened there. However, the nonprofit group Oxfam announced yesterday that it would be taking the rare step of intervening in an American disaster, citing its outrage over what it called a slow and inadequate response. Oxfam will now begin to deliver food to the United States. Australian investigators have delivered their final report into missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, which disappeared in 2014 while flying to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur. The Australians say it's almost inconceivable that the plane has not been found. They said it's certainly unacceptable in the modern aviation era with 10 million passengers boarding commercial aircraft every day for a large plane to be missing and for the world to not know with certainty what became of the aircraft and those on board. The Australian government has said only credible new evidence will prompt it to resume the search. The Malaysian government is continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding the plane's disappearance. Meanwhile, investigators on both sides of the Atlantic are struggling to decide who should have jurisdiction in the engine explosion that forced an Air France A380 to make an emergency landing in Canada. Experts from the U.S. and France, as well as plane maker Airbus and U.S.-based engine maker Engine Alliance, have been sent to Canada, where the engine is sitting on the plane's wing. A spokesman for France's BEA Air Accident Agency says no investigation has yet been formally launched. Canada's Transport Safety Board said it's currently leading the work of investigators from Canada, France, and the U.S. Under aviation law, Denmark could officially own the investigation because the explosion occurred over Greenland, which is part of Denmark's territory. Denmark has not commented yet. France and the U.S. would automatically be part of any investigation since the aircraft and engine were made in those countries respectively. Airbus has issued an alert to all operators of the plane that used the same type of engine, confirming the low-pressure compressor fan has been separated. No cause yet has been identified. Well, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway Group has bought a stake in Pilot Travel Center, the owner of the Pilot Flying J truck stop chain in the United States. If you drive across the United States with any regularity, you'll notice these places. Berkshire is going to acquire about a 38% stake of Flying J. And under terms of the agreement, in 2023, Berkshire is going to become an 80% stockholder. Pilot Flying J generates annual revenues of more than $20 billion. It was named the 15th largest private company in the U.S. by Forbes magazines. Started life as a single pilot gas station in Virginia in 1958, has locations now in more than 750 parts of the U.S. Buffett said he isn't going to lose sleep over potential threats from autonomous vehicles. He said trucks are going to be around for a very long time. Who knows when driverless trucks are going to come along and what level of penetration they may have. There's nothing that we own that doesn't have something in the future that might affect it. Sage advice from the Sage of Omaha. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back to tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.